So when I got the first time in contact with Abcam, Abcam was looking for somebody to get the quality of the antigens which are needed for the antibody production to the next level. Getting really high quality proteins properly folded in order to display within the immunization process the epitopes which are naturally also occurring in order to get really high quality antibodies. So I was starting as a consultant with Abcam. I've seen a number of opportunities, and I liked Abcam, Abcam liked me, so we changed that, and I brought in new ideas like bringing in proteins for the catalog into Abcam.
That sounds interesting. What was your motivation for that?
The background of that is when I was in Novartis, we had our own protein production team, but sometimes people were trying to take the shortcut. Before we could produce it ourselves, we were buying it from some company outside of Novartis. And I spent probably thousands of Swiss francs on crappy proteins which were not correctly folded, were not even the right protein, inactive, just useless. And I always thought that in order to do good science, you have to have good ingredients. So your results can be only as good as your tools you are using during your science. So I was always feeling a bit sorry for the people in the academic area where they didn't have the access to high quality proteins. So coming to Abcam, Abcam is dedicated to deliver high quality tools to researchers. And then when I was charged with the task to make good antigens, I contacted the CEO and his team, Alan, in order and said, if we are now producing all these high quality antigens, is there no way to use the Abcam network to bring also this high quality proteins to researchers that they can do their work better, faster, more reliable.
So you had the team to start to develop your target profiles and what it was that you really wanted to make. So how did you go about the next step?
Yeah, we had to set up a lab from scratch. So we were thinking, the first idea was we can do that on the piggyback of the antigen production, but then we realized it's on practical terms not really the most straightforward method. So we set up our own lab here in Cambridge, UK, where we had to hire the team, we had to order the equipment. We started with an empty room. So we got Ellen was saying, this is the room, you can have that, have your fun. In a way. So we were hiring the right people, we were buying in the equipment, we were coming up with a plan how we want to do that. And it was very important for me that we can keep in Abcam the standard which I was used to provide to researchers in Novartis.
Yeah.
All the proteins or the instruments which we bought were basically designed in the way that we could do the right QC quality control, that we can guarantee the right quality to our customers. That means we are not just relying on an SDS page, the standard thing for looking at purity. We're also using HPLC in order to do that. We bought a mass spectrometry. Abcam invested quite some money into the equipment in order to make it work.
And how long did that take you to set up from concept to, I guess, first things coming out of the lab?
I think we started probably July last year, and we had the first protein and the first difficulties end of September, beginning of October, where we were seeing, okay, this needs to be tweaked, this needs to be tweaked. So it's always nice to have a plan, but then when you start to execute, you see all the gaps and the difficulties which are coming in. But we started in summer, and we had the first protein on the catalog in January, which I think is pretty awesome.
That's pretty impressive, yeah, and I guess the team were quite proud of that.
No, the team did a fantastic job. Everybody was working on their limits very hard. And the team was, we had to come also together as a team. It's not just putting some individuals and everybody do it, they have to work together.
So are there any big differences that you found, working in a place like Abcam to what it was like working over in Switzerland for Novartis, aside of course from, change of location?
There are differences and there are things which are the same. So first of all, we can do exactly the same quality of science in Abcam and we can do in Novartis. So the proteins we can match. The environment is of course different. I would say Abcam has a very young and very dynamic team. And I enjoy the friendliness of the environment in Abcam. It's very open. It's different than in a large organization than in Novartis. Every ways here are short. You can pop into the CEO office without any problem. People are showing up at your desk. Everything is in an open space. It's very informal in the way people are working together. Abcam is a global company. I have teams in China, I have teams in the US, I have teams here in Cambridge, UK, and I really like the whole environment.
So do you think that kind of pioneering spirit and attitude was really underpin the success you had in, bringing in the proteins team here?
I think that's where I totally fit in, and it's not just the proteins. Currently, my role is in bringing new product lines into the Abcam portfolio. And I always have this fantastic match of a company who wants to pioneer the life science sector, who wants to provide really excellent tools to researcher, and me wants to explore new stuff and create new tools for researchers to make their research even better.
So it sounds like you found your natural home. You've got those three key pieces in one place.
I have the fun of my life.